Welcome to Happy Hour. Happy Monday, everybody. He's Adam Harahawk. I'm Sean Campbell here at the Voice of the Thumb, WMIC 660 and 95.3 FM.
Oh, Sean, you were saying that I look like I got a little sun yesterday. I did, because I was at the Tiger game.
Must be nice.
It was cool. It was Tom Selleck night. Tom Selleck threw out the first pitch. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Magnum PI day. So
Tom Selleck threw out the first pitch.
Yep, it was a good time.
Well, good times all the way around. Apparently, we can't send you to ball games ever, though, because
they lost.
They lose when you go.
Yeah. Well,
Note to self: never go to a Tigers game with Adam.
I've been to a lot of Red Wings games, and they always seem to win until I started going with my wife.
So Dorothy's bad luck, and we never take her to a sporting event again.
I have not been to a professional sports game where the team won.
I swear, don't you ever get that woman tickets to a Super Bowl if the Lions make it that far. Like, there will be snipers positioned around the field to make sure she does not enter the building.
Honey, I'm going to the Super Bowl. Sean bought the ticket. Shut up, Sean. Yeah, you bought the ticket. Yeah, Sean bought the ticket, so he could only get one for me. Sorry. Oh, and Drew's going, Eddie. Bye.
Yeah, we can't have that, because apparently she must just be the bad luck charm when it comes to our teams. I don't
That's what I'm
that
going
in my
with.
Life.
She's listening. She's like, what in the heck? It was my idea to go to the game.
Yeah, but they lost. Was that your idea too? You know, it's been a while since your wife has been the first person on the apology list for the week.
Yeah, it has. It has been. It was a great game. It was a lot of fun. Comerica, second time being there this year, but this time I got, walking around the concourse and everything else. It was a wonderful building, and it was a decent game. I mean, there was a lot of back and forth. Got to see quite a few home runs. That was nice.
There were Torque, Winfield Perez, and who was the other one? Because there was three on the day. Riley Green.
Riley Green opened up the scoring.
Yep.
Oh, that was nice.
You sent me video of some sort. I have not watched it all the way through.
McKinstry. Zach McKinstry getting a base hit. I was hoping that he'd hit a home run.
I know, you were hoping just out of spite. This bid is never going to die now, is it? Until Zach McKinstry ultimately gets DFA'd from this team a couple years down the road.
No, he's going to hit the winning home run, Game 7 of the World Series to clinch it, and I'll be like, ha-ha, and you're going to come walking in with a number 39 jersey. I know it. It's like, Zach McKinstry, he's always been my boy.
I feel like at that point I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at that point I have to fully commit to the bit and get the jersey.
Yeah.
There's no way I possibly can't.
Oh, absolutely. But it was a great time. It was about perfect. We walked around to a Tip Top bar or something like that. It used to be Chelly's Chili.
Tin Roof?
Tin Roof there. Yeah, that place. Yeah. Pretty decent. Place.
I haven't been there yet since they changed over. I went there a few times as Chelly's, and it was all right.
Yeah, it was decent. You were right about the Tigers, though, with their pitching. I'm like looking at the Royals, and that their relief pitchers are, their ERA is like 2.5, maybe 2.7.
Yeah.
Ours was like 5.8 or something like that.
That'll happen. Unfortunately, you'll get that with this pitching staff.
The Tigers outfield, they looked a little sluggish.
Perhaps a bit, but they were getting some big timely hits. So I'm not going to complain. Like, yeah, that may have been the case, but Green certainly had himself a game. So did Perez.
Yep.
So did Jahmai Jones, who's just kind of come out of nowhere. I don't expect this to go into the postseason for him, but it's really nice to watch right now.
They were able to take 2 out of 3 out of Kansas City. So I mean, I'll take that.
I guess I can live with it. I guess I'll settle for 2 out of 3 against the Royals. Really?
Yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, they just completed a sweep of, was that Cleveland?
Houston.
Houston, yeah.
Yeah, the AL West leading Houston Astros.
Was able to sweep them, but, the bargain basement cellar dwellers that are the Kansas City Royals, 2 out of 3. I guess 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I suppose not.
Sure.
Are we really going to revisit the meatloaf bit?
I guess that all roads lead back to meatloaf.
They really do with you, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
We'll start another week with meatloaf on the apology list.
Yeah,
man.
might as well.
But I mean, it's hard not to feel a lot better about this team right now than you did, say, 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Because I think we talked about right before they started that home set against L.A. and then went to Chicago and Minnesota. Bare minimum, I need a winning record during that 10 games. And we did end up getting that. In fact, you ended up winning 7 out of that 10. So already my expectations were met. And then exceeded when you swept the Stros. And then even more so when you continued to keep this thing rolling and took 2 out of 3 from the Royals.
Yeah.
So you're now, since we had that discussion here on the air, your team is now, your Detroit Baseball Tigers have gotten to 12-4 in that last 2 weeks.
Yeah, because, I mean, right around the All-Star break, there was a lot of people hitting the panic button.
Can you blame us for hitting the panic button, man?
No.
Like, things were going downhill really quick.
This is our year, and what was it? Right around this time last year, they really kind of kicked it in gear.
Yeah, this was around the time that they were actually starting to really get into it, as opposed to last year. Whereas this year, that's when things kind of started to sink a little bit, start taking on a little bit of water.
Right. So.
I mean, you love to see it. Like, it's nice to see that after having kind of a slump like that you are in fact capable of being the team that you were looking like in that early start to this season. You've now won your last 5 series.
Yep.
And I expect that you'll win the 6th one against the don't call them the Sacramento Athletics. They really don't like when
they really don't like that.
City.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
We know we're playing here, but you don't have to tell everyone.
You want to go to the game? We first have to put this bag over your head, and we take you to a secret location.
Right. We can't tell you that they're playing at a minor league ballpark in Sacramento, but that's totally what they're doing.
Yeah. Then they finish out August against KC in Kansas City. So I mean, maybe they get a little redemption there.
Well, I don't know if redemption is really needed. They took 2 or 3 in the series. I mean,
complete annihilation.
You want a sweep on the road.
Oh,
okay.
Absolutely.
Fine. I'm good with that. Whatever works. Whatever gets the job done. Like, right now, I can't really be disappointed with anything they're giving me other than, Jack Flaherty went from looking like a world beater last week, going 7 innings for the first time in his Tigers career to... Oh, he got
3.
charged with all 8 runs in that game yesterday. Huh, lovely. Oh, God.
And meanwhile, what is it, in the 5th or 6th inning, Tigers take the lead. I'm like looking for the one place where I can get the tall boy Coors.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're winning. Oh, okay, where can I find those tall beers? I like those. My planning, isn't it great?
Fantastic. Did you manage to get there before they shut everything down?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had a great time.
Well, I'm glad you did, because you disappointed the rest of us. Let us all down again.
I know, we were winning, and then I came back to the seat and was like, oh, now we're losing.
All your fault.
All right, I'll do better next time. I'll wear a rabbit's foot or something like that.
Maybe you need to go and buy that McKinstry jersey.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd do it. I wouldn't even tell you I did it. I just,
You'll just show up here in it one day.
Of course you're wearing a number 39 jersey, McKinstry, of course.
Or you'll show up next year at the opening day broadcast with it.
Hey, that's right. And, well, it had me thinking about when we went to opening day. I'm like trying to find the press box we were in, and like, I'm going to be here again in 8 months. It's going to be great.
It will be. Hopefully, we'll be coming off of celebrating a title, but
yeah, because it was nice to see those flags over there for the 68 and 84. Of course 84. Gotta love that flag.
Go play in traffic, Harrod.
But right in the middle, they can take the MLB flag down and put one up for 2025.
God, I hope so. I can't find myself being that confident in that, just because you're playing great baseball right now. I don't know that they can do this. I mean, I feel like they can get to the ALCS this year. I said that on the air last week, and I do believe it. This team is good enough to make it to the AL Championship Series.
Yes.
How much farther they get from there is going to depend on some really good luck going your way and performances from guys that you don't expect to perform that way come, playoff time. Like, you're going to need to see the Zach McKinstry that we've seen by and large this year. You're going to need to see the Jahmai Jones that we've been seeing recently. Like, you're going to need a lot of things to go your way to get much further than the ALCS, but I think you can, bare minimum, get there.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's fair.
Well, it's like every postseason. Yeah, you dig in and you find the best version of yourself. And there are a lot of the B-role players, they step up. It seems like those become the unsung heroes, whether it's in football, hockey, or in baseball.
And those are really the ones that you need to step up in times like that.
Yep.
And you're really going to be counting on a lot of that. You're also going to be leaning a lot on your bullpen, really. Like, I mean, obviously, Skubal, Mize are your starters going into the postseason. I would imagine, it could really go either way. Like, Flaherty might end up being relegated to the pen, depending on how he finishes up the year here in the rotation.
Well, I don't see that happening.
Well, you don't roll a full 5-man rotation in the postseason.
No.
Like 3 or 4 a lot of the time.
Okay.
Like that one year with the Brewers, you just roll CC Sabathia and literal nobody else.
Brewers, are they having a season or what?
They actually are. Like they came back like crazy.
They're doing it for Euchre.
They clearly are. You just love to see it.
Yep.
You really, really do. But I would imagine like your postseason rotation is going to look probably Skubal, Mize, and maybe Charlie Morton if he keeps pitching the way that he has. And I have to admit, I was skeptical here for a while of the idea that he could actually be a real contributor in the postseason for you as a starter. But then I remembered there was another starter years ago, a magical time called 2006, who was 41 years old and came in and dominated in the postseason. You may remember him, a fellow by the name of Kenny Rogers.
Oh, yes. Yes, not the chicken guy.
No.
Not the gambler.
Nope. Though he did know when to hold him and when to fold him.
Oh, I remember when he came to town. Everybody's like, everybody put the cameraman on high alert. Didn't he come from Atlanta or something like that? And he roughed up a cameraman?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. there was kind of a thing with that.
Yeah.
But no, like I feel like, I mean, we've seen it happen once. Why couldn't it happen with Charlie Morton, I guess? But,
sure.
If he keeps pitching well here, then, maybe that ends up being the case. As far as tonight goes, Tarek Skubal getting the start against the Sacramento Athletics. 10:05 first pitch, 9:40 pregame right here on 97.7, or over on our brother station, I should say, 97.7 WTGV, which means that your show will be a little bit earlier than normal tonight. The sessions, everyone's favorite, America's favorite Michigan-made music show.
That's right.
Will be airing tonight at 8.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I guess I better tell the Sessions faithful on Facebook
that the next 3 nights you're going to be on early.
Yep.
Primetime sessions, baby.
That's right.
That's right. We going primetime up in here.
Yeah.
So that's coming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You'll be on at 8 o'clock over there doing your Michigan-made music-like thing.
Yay.
Be fun for everybody. Fun for the whole family. Well, maybe not the whole family. Yeah.
Grandma will love it.
I'm sure she will. Well, as long as you don't start off with the unedited version of MC5's Kick Out the Jams, it should be good. On that note, we got to hit a break. It is happy hour here at WMIC. It is happy hour here at the Voice of the Thumb, WMIC 660 at 95.3 FM. He's Adam Harhock. I'm Sean Campbell. Glad to be here with you on a Monday. And the Lions, we're getting close to actual meaningful football games. Not this coming weekend, but next weekend, now that we're done with the preseason slate.
Yeah, it wasn't the preseason we wanted, but I mean, like we said, preseason is just for the coaches, really, to see what they've got. And they found out what they have, and they found out what they have not.
And what they appear to have not is what they appear to have is an actual backup QB, and now there's talk that Hendon Hooker might just get cut altogether, which, honestly, why keep him?
Well, Campbell, in his presser, his statement is in short, maybe a different environment would be better for him.
I believe he used the words change of scenery.
Change of scenery, yes.
With regards to
that old chestnut, yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
it hasn't worked out.
It hasn't worked out here. You haven't really needed him here. Like, quote, how much development do you believe there still is? Sometimes a player does need a change of scenery. What about our own depth in other areas? Look, I wish Hooker, and I know he does, would have had a better outing, but you have to take it with a grain of salt. It's not like he was playing with our first O-line out there, our first team skill position, all of that. So you take all that into account as well. I thought he was prepared. I thought he was ready. Looked pretty calm. Just circumstances didn't work out today. That's all. Hell yeah, brother.
Did you take some sort of editorial fun with that one?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
But, I mean... It didn't work out. I mean, he took a couple snaps last year, and it was not notable. I mean, that's when he had the full team on that field, and he couldn't get it done. And then preseason, it's not like he was
impressing anybody.
So it might be just time to move on from him. Sounds like they are.
I mean, I think that's where we're at this point. It doesn't help that Kyle Allen's had a really good training camp so far. Like, it looked like they'd planned to bring him in basically to kind of show Hooker the ropes a little bit. Now it's like, well, actually, why don't we just keep you? I mean, you had in the game against the Dolphins, 14-17 pass attempts, 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, realistically, I think it just makes sense to keep the guy you've got and roll on from there. Like I said, I don't know that any of it's going to matter ultimately when it comes to regular season play, because if you lose Goff, you're already kind of screwed.
Yeah.
But Kyle Allen will probably keep you in there maybe a little bit better than a Hendon Hooker would.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. But either way, it ain't a good thing. Guy who's really kind of impressed this offseason, though, has been that Isaac Tesla.
Oh, yeah. Is it Tesla? I kept calling him Tesla.
I've heard it both ways, but I believe because of where the capitalization is, it's Tesla. But he's been really good. Like, he hadn't done a whole lot at Arkansas, but man, he's like, you get the feeling that he's got Tim Patrick's spot on the roster this year, and I honestly see him replacing J-Mo in the offense when his contract's up.
Oh, okay.
Like, this may now be the thing that says that we're not re-signing J-Mo. And I've kind of thought that might be the case for a long time. Just because the long list of stupid things that have happened with him on or off the field. So, like, I understand that, I mean, he's an insanely talented receiver. Don't get me wrong. Not to dog on him in that way, but you sometimes have wondered with him historically, like, is it going to be worth it to give him that big payday if he does something stupid that ends up either costing you a game or costing him time with the team? Like, you've got him for, I believe, this year and next before you have to worry about paying him. But I don't honestly see, like, he's got a club option for next year at $15 million. I think they'll probably take that and then let him walk at the end of the 26th season. If Tesla pans out like we've watched him in the preseason so far, I think it's a slam dunk decision.
Wasn't he doing the worm the other day?
I believe so.
Into the end zone, doing quite a nice worm, actually.
Something like that, yeah. But you got to imagine he's going to be a big part of the plan for the Lions going forward, and I do see them having drafted him basically to replace J-Mo. Like, that just seems like kind of how this is going to work out. Just because, I mean, again, handing that kind of the big money that a guy like him is going to demand. And this is a team that already is, they're going to have some tough decisions to make. Like, between, like, J-Mo, Sam Laporta, and I think Brian Branch, you're not going to be able to afford to keep all three. You may not be able to afford to keep two of the three. And of those three, personally, I take, I want Laporta all day long. Like, not that what either of those other guys have done hasn't been great for the team, but if I have to pick any one of the three, like, that's my guy. Like, that's going to be the hardest one, I feel, to replace. And after you sign Hutch to his extension, I'm still wondering, though, what's going to happen as far as the other edge position. Ooh. Like, remember, all you have right now after the kid you just drafted out of Boise State, that Hassanin ended up with a pec injury that's going to basically cost him the entire 25 season.
Ouch.
All you have left is Marcus Davenport, who I believe has played in 3 games in the last 2 seasons. Like, are we really putting all our eggs in the Marcus Davenport basket? I think that's incredibly short-sighted if that's the plan. I keep thinking, maybe they're going to re-sign Zadarius Smith. But anyway, I guess we've got another 2-ish weeks until we find out. But I would just like to see something, like, done there.
Dan Campbell has a plan.
I hope so. I hope him and Brad Holmes have a plan. I hope they have all the plan, but I worry. I worry a lot about... And I also don't understand, like, the way they've been talking to the press and everybody else about it. Like, what teams have, like, 2 great edge rushers anyway? I mean, that's not really a thing that happens. Houston Texans on line 1. Or did we forget about them? Like it does happen. You can't actually have 2 good edge rushers on your roster. Like, you are allowed to do that. I know that may be a shocking thing to certainly to this regime. But you can do that. Like, it is allowed.
Well, it's Isaac Okwu. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
I don't know if you are either, to be perfectly honest with you.
I mean, he's an option. I mean, 2 games last year. So, I mean, with not the greatest stats, but he's there for whatever it's worth.
I don't think it's worth that much, and that's the problem. No. And the problem I think you're really going to run into is you're counting a lot on a guy who is supremely injury-prone to basically be your answer. Like, we have Hutch. We don't need... Like, you do realize that typically teams play 2 defensive ends at a time, right? Like, you can't have more than one. In fact, teams traditionally start 2 of them.
Yep.
And I don't get it. I truly don't. And I was wrong. He's started 4 games over the last 2 seasons, Davenport. My apologies. But it's like, what am I counting on here? Like, he started all of 1 game last season. It played in all of 2. Like, I can't take that as any kind of, like, guarantee or even have an expectation that he's going to play any meaningful time this year. Please let that Zadarius Smith signing be just something they're just waiting on until, like, the last day of the, before the season starts.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping for, man. We'll see if it works out that way. But that's kind of what I'm hoping for. In the meantime, we got to hit a break. Stick around. I believe Nick Lean standing by at the news desk tonight with your local headlines after ABC News covers the world at 6 o'clock here at WMIC AM and W237EQ FM Sandusky. Happy Hour at the Voice of the Thumb, WMIC 660 95.3 FM. And it is once again that time of the week. And by that time of the week, I mean we've just decided that we're going to do this twice this week because, why not? But once again, that time where we turn away from childish things like sports and turn our attention to, changing lives. Maybe even for the better. Yes, it's that time again for Sean and Adam's Unsolicited Advice, where real people with real problems send real questions to real advice columnists. Unfortunately, we get our hands on them, we intercept, and quite frankly, I think we give better advice than the people who get paid to do this crap for a living. Sure, we may ruin a few lives along the way, but, that just kind of happens when we have this much time to fill in a week. So let's get right into it, shall we? I think I've got some particularly good ones. I don't like to toot my own horn here on this program because that's just not what I do. But I do think we've got a couple that'll couple of our best for sure.
All right.
Dear somebody who cares. Our late uncle was a pilot, and he had a tradition where he'd pick up little local candies and bring them back for all the cousins. There are 15 of us, so it was always just small treats, but it's a cherished memory. I started a career that lets me travel, so I picked up the tradition of bringing small regional sweets whenever I see my nieces and nephews. But my sister-in-law, Annabelle, is a health food freak where there is no sugar, no dyes, and nothing fun. She feeds her family rabbit food, and her kids rebel against it often. I'm usually hands-off with how my brother handles his wife and kids until now. Annabelle told me to stop giving the other children sweets because it was excluding her kids and causing fights because her kids want what their cousins have. I told her I'd bring the kids gum instead. She told me that was even worse, and I needed to think outside the box and maybe pick up stuffed animals at the airport. I told her those items were overpriced as hell. I spent maybe $20 a trip on sweets. I wasn't dropping hundreds of dollars on tourist junk. Annabelle was very put off by this and reacted even worse when the rest of our family sided with me over her. Annabelle thinks she can dictate what everyone's diet is and constantly complains about what my mother and sisters make for dinner, but still uses us for free childcare. My brother is upset I didn't back him up and his wife over something so small. I'm just carrying on a fun tradition, and thankfully, I think if the problem is that kids are getting mochi from Okinawa, then my brother and wife have it made in the shade. What else can I do?
Nothing. You stay the course. You're keeping up a great tradition. Some of that those kids are going to remember, and I feel bad for the kids who are they do feel excluded. So what the guy does need to do, he needs to buy these little snacks, and then when nobody's looking, hand them out then.
Normally I don't recommend the whole going behind people's backs and usurping parental authority and yada yada yada, but in this case, I'm fine with it. Actually, go for it.
Walk up like you're selling drugs. I got what you need. I got what you want. What you want? You got Toblerone? I got that. I got some Twizzlers here.
Right. I don't think that would be an issue.
We'll start you out on Pixie Sticks. That's a gateway candy. I mean, the whole family sides with you. You're fine with it. Yeah, your brother and sister-in-law are... Well, it's just a sister-in-law. The brother is just trying to keep, peace in the family.
Yeah, I feel like that's all he's kind of contractually obligated to take his wife's side in this, but I think even he deep down knows how stupid of a battle this is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I say, give the kids the candy, or maybe something... I don't know, a Brussels sprout or something like, something to give to those kids. I mean, no, that's mean. That's mean. I'm no.
That's cruel.
I'm just trying to think of something that gives the kid that the mother will be fine with. First of all, her name's Annabelle. Right then and there.
I don't think they're real names, dude.
Okay. Well, yeah, Annabelle, I just think of a freaky doll that just scares the heck out of people.
Yeah.
And it sounds like this is her too.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would just... stay the course. Keep doing what you're doing. Maybe not be real flamboyant about it. Hey, I've got some sugar candy with like a red number 5 dye in it. Line up, kids, line up. But if she is keeping these kids on a straight and narrow diet, a little treat here and there is not going to hurt them. It's going to give them memories and maybe for a moment just a little bit of a sugar high.
Yeah.
You deny these kids that kind of stuff. Once they get out of your eye, when they go to college or they move out, they're going to be 350 pounds because they're going to be like mainlining, milk duds and stuff like that. You don't make it sound so taboo because that's all they're going to want.
Exactly. Like you're just making it so like you hear about how overseas kids are having like a drink with dinner and they don't end up to become the same level of binge drinking raging alcoholics that we are.
Right. But they also don't have, hey, it's 8 o'clock. All the guys are getting together. We're having the best time of our lives drinking beer. They're just like, oh, it's wine. It's wine. Have a glass with dinner. Nobody gets really messed up because then that's considered socially social faux pas.
Yeah, if you can't hold your liquor, it certainly is.
Yeah. So I mean, don't deny the kids. Like we were never allowed to really have pop at the house growing up, and now I love pop.
Yeah, our folks, I don't think let us have candy till I think I was like 5 or something. Like
really?
Then the candy and the pop and all that was fair game. And well, I ended up maybe eating probably too much of that stuff over the years. Then now I'm back to the point where I don't eat it at all, really.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of weird that the only time I drink pop is when it's mixed with liquor, and candy really almost never.
Yeah. So yeah,
feels so much healthier these days. Let me tell you.
So you got to let the kids indulge a little bit. So I mean,
right? Let them be kids.
Let them be kids. Every Easter, Let them search around the house, find a basket full of chocolate eggs, let them go into a sugar coma, and then take them to church.
Right. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily recommend the taking them to church bit, but you do you.
You can go straight down to the 7th level of. Can you say hell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can say hell, yes.
Okay, yeah. Sean, you're going to hell, and I mean that in the nicest way.
I've been told that for years, Adam, and there's clearly nothing at this point that's going to change that. Quite frankly, it sounds more fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot better time, if I'm to be entirely frank with you. Let's do another one of these, shall we? Since this might be the easiest one we've ever done.
That was pretty simple.
Both of us suggest just completely deceiving the parents and act like that's an entirely fine thing. I love that.
Oh, thanks for this head of lettuce, Uncle Hoover. Now open it up. Reese's peanut butter cups. Go for it, kid. Go.
Exactly. All right, let's get back into this.
Yeah.
Dear, oh God, not these two idiots again.
Yep, sorry.
I feel like I finally met my soulmate. He made my heart flutter, and I could have talked to him for hours. Of course, there's always a problem. I'm married, and he's a new colleague of my husband's.
Uh-oh.
I've been married for over 2 decades. My husband and I have a wonderful relationship, but it's always been more like best friends rather than lovers. Many men throughout my marriage have caught my eye, but never have I had this gut-wrenching feeling. I don't know what to do. My marriage is solid and enviable. I think that the other gentleman felt the connection too, but who could say for sure? I really am at a crossroads and could use a crossguard.
Oh, yeah. Just pump the brakes.
Solid and enviable, yet you're always looking for a way out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like a real solid, enviable marriage there.
Yeah, you're thinking about cheating on your marriage with somebody at your workplace.
That's someone at her husband's workplace.
Her husband's workplace.
It's even worse.
I missed that part. Yeah. Yeah, that's just make things. Yeah. Yeah, that's no es bueno.
Not smart at all.
Sounds like maybe she's not getting any. So she's got that frustration.
That would be my guess, yeah.
So, I mean, chalk it up to just lust or whatever. Heart's a flutter. Yeah, something's a flutter, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Just calm yourself down. If you're feeling that way and you're not feeling that way about your husband, that's your problem right there. You're not feeling that way about your husband. You need to address that instead of wondering if the grass is greener on the other side or has better abs on the other side of the fence. You need to just concentrate on tend to your own garden.
Right. Like, if you think that you're living in a loveless marriage or whatever, then that's something you need to address with your husband.
Yes.
Before anything else. Like, I feel like we've seen this play out this way a lot over the years, doing this bit, where people go and, like, I've thrown away, however long, a decade plus long marriage because this other person, acted like they cared about me, and then the second I left them, all of a sudden, it was actually worse than the relationship that I just threw away. It rarely ever works out. When you're already planning on exiting a relationship to start one with somebody else and you already have that person in mind, because you at that point have projected a lot of your, the insecurity that you have and the issues that you have with the last one, you just made this person out to be not so much an actual human being, but an idea that you have. Like, it's kind of like this person is all the things that you've decided that you want your person to be.
Yep.
And then when you find out that no, they're not that person, this was just you putting up an idealized version of them because you didn't fully know them and really know what you were getting yourself into. And that's when the regret comes in.
Yep. There it is.
Seen it a million times, man.
It's tales as old as time.
Truly it is.
You need to just go ahead and try to spark something up with your husband.
Right. As for how you go about doing that, I don't know. Like, clearly,
hey, what cologne does Ted wear? And then just buy it for him for Christmas, and then call him Ted in the bed, or whatever his name is. I don't know.
Right.
I think we just made up a name for him, but no, don't do that.
Yeah. Like, as far as that, I mean, I guess you and your husband have something you need to work on. Go, go get counseling or whatever you got to do there. But
Yep.
the absolute worst thing you can do is start immediately pursuing a relationship with this guy. First off, give that time to see if, like, is this actually, am I actually, like, this in love with this guy, or is this just, like, a crush that, you're having a hard time getting over?
Yep. Yeah, that's...
And then, if all else still fails and you're not feeling like your needs are being met and you think, like, okay, this guy might actually be something, then maybe I still wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But at least at that point, it's more than just a passing thing, I guess.
Yeah. Then that opens up a whole new can of worms.
Right. That being that now you clearly have to start talking and planning out divorce.
Yep. And not just for the sole purpose of, getting with his coworker, but I mean, just the fact you need to think about your marriage and whether it works for you or not before you start, dipping into other pastures. I don't know. What's a great terminology here?
I think that's about as good of an analogy as we're going to get for this.
I mean, I could go other routes, but,
wouldn't be recommended.
Yeah.
No. I don't feel like that would really be taken particularly well.
No.
So that's a bit ridiculous. Like, yeah, but no. Do not pursue this. It's a terrible idea. Do not do it.
No, do not.
And go and try and fix your own marriage. If you can't fix the marriage, then contemplate the split, but that shouldn't have anything to do with this other guy. If you split and because if you're leaving just because you think this is going to be better, I hate to tell you, that's almost never, ever how that works.
Nope.
Let's dive into one more of these real quick, shall we?
Sure.
Dear, does anyone actually still read these? I'm tired of having the same winter fight with my husband. He doesn't believe I need to remove the snow accumulation on my SUV's roof. He believes that's just for high visibility vehicles, aka semis. I want to know how he thinks a snow brush gets up there, but I digress. Besides safety and courtesy behind me, I also don't like taking the risk of having to stop and it all slides down to my windshield. If he offers to help remove snow from my car, he'll do the front and back windshield and that's it. Not the mirrors or passenger windows. Then I spend another 15 minutes actually doing it. Even if I do it all, he nags me before, during, and after for wasting my time. It's a continuous contention anytime it snows, which can be a couple times a week for us in the winter. I've asked him directly to stop the weird nagging, but also I'm right? Is there another way to get through to him?
It sounds like he has no problem being an inconsiderate jerk. So is he going to get like unduly is he going to get really mad if you brush the snow off? Just go ahead and do that, because I believe it is a law. At least in Michigan it is.
No, I believe it absolutely is. I feel like we get this story every year, reminding us that this is the law. Like around that time every year when the snow hits, we seem to get those notes about this. Also, why we're talking about this in the middle of summer, I have no idea. But
because winter will be here before you know it. But we know those people that they want to scrape off just a little window on the windshield so they can see. And maybe
I've been those people. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I'm just feeling way too lazy for that to just drive around the corner to the grocery store to clear off all of this nonsense. I could do that, but also no.
I mean, I've got the snow on my windows, but I got power windows for a reason. I'll just see if I can unroll the windows down and knock off the snow. And there's been a lot of times that
I may have done that.
I'll leave the house, think I'm doing okay, and then have to pull over at the post office right there and scrape the windshield.
Right.
But wipe off the snow, the mirrors.
3 by 3 inch square I can see out of. We're
fine. No, wipe the snow off just because it's the right thing to do. And if your husband has a problem with it, let him get the ticket. Let him decide that he only needs a 3 by 5 index card to look out the windshield.
Well, it's her car and her she's complaining about her doing it to her car. At that point, why do you care? Okay, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But if she wants to and she's driving somewhere, why are you going to give her a hard time about it?
It's snowing. She's wiping off the roof of her car, and he's just yelling, "You're just a sheep for society, man." You don't need to wipe that off. You conformist.
It's a free country, man.
Yeah. Don't tread on me or the snow on my roof.
Especially not that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I don't.
Because I mean, I've driven behind a car that didn't wipe off the snow on the top, and it comes
my car.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, that looks like big old snow. The whole car gets scalped with snow, and it flies into my windshield.
Nobody died though. It's fine.
No, I just squealed all over the road. Nearly rolled it.
But did you die?
No. And
did you roll your car? No, I didn't think so. It's fine.
Got the whole heart beating. I was like, well, thank you. I can skip cardio today.
Well, see? You're welcome. Again, helping people, changing lives. It's what we do on this show.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome, Adam. You're very welcome. See? I knew we were doing something good here. Just time, takes you getting to actually see that sometimes. On that note, let's hit a break here. We'll get a check of your weather. Meteorologist John McMurray is standing by with the details of your forecast coming up right here at the Voice of the Thumb, WMIC, AM 660, and 95.3 FM. So I honestly can't believe we haven't brought this up on this show yet. So MLB is talking about expansion. Rob Manfred has been very clear that he plans on expanding to 32 teams before all is said and done here.
Why did I think MLB already had 32 teams? I must be behind on the times.
I mean, you are behind on the times, but
I guess so.
No, they were the last league that still only has 30 teams.
Well, I mean, I'm up for it. Baseball is growing in popularity again where it should be.
It is and it isn't. I mean, I don't know. It's still a distant, it's still well behind the NFL. It's arguably behind the NBA, and it's a coin flip as to whether or not it's behind the NHL. I mean, yeah, there's a few things that the MLB is better at, with regards to marketing. I mean, I don't know if you've ever noticed, you're not actually allowed to say the words Los Angeles Dodgers without putting Shohei Ohtani and the before the name. Right. I think MLB's actually passed that rule. Not only you can't call the Athletics by the city that they're currently playing in, and you have to start it with Shohei Ohtani and the Los Angeles Dodgers, regardless of whether or not you're talking about Shohei Ohtani at all.
Right.
But I don't think it's a good idea to expand. I really don't. And maybe I'm out on a limb on this one, but look at, for as much as we're talking more about MLB possibly than we ever have.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, how many teams are there right now that are actively not trying to contend, that are actively just operating as cheaply as they possibly can to keep the money and the ticket stuff coming in, but never actually contending for anything? I mean, look at two of the most notorious examples. Both of them, conveniently enough, in the NL Comedy Central. The Pittsburgh Pirates, whose owner has basically come out and said that they're not going to spend on players ever, and the Castellanis in Cincinnati, who said, well, where else you going to go? Basically saying, yeah, we're not going to try. We're not going to put any effort into signing players. Where are you going to go? If not us, then you're not going to have a team at all. Just be grateful that we're even here, basically.
Wow, yeah.
You have so many stories like this. I mean, you had last year, the Oakland A's basically spent the entire season waving just giant middle fingers to their entire fan base, only to put them in a minor league dump in Sacramento.
Yikes.
I would argue, honestly, dude, we have too many teams. And that, I know that seems weird to say, but when you look at how many teams are just, do not have, can barely cobble together a major league roster. Look at the Colorado Rockies. You have maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 guys on that team that would play anywhere else in MLB. I mean, Tyler Freeman probably has a job somewhere else if he wanted to. Ryan McMahon probably, don't look at the batting average so much, but there's a handful of guys on that roster that actually could play on another team in the major leagues. Certainly none of their pitchers. You wouldn't take a single pitcher on that roster other than maybe Jake Bird on your team. Not a one. There's not enough Major League talent, quite frankly, to fill out 32 teams. And that's only going to get worse if you expand. Like, there's not enough talent to fill out 30 teams as it is.
Well, would you be considering to move teams?
I think you have to. I'll be honest with you. I think that's the first thing that has to happen is we got to start talking about moving teams or getting different ownership for said teams before we talk about things like expanding.
Yeah.
Like, the Athletics probably should be moving to Vegas. I'm still not convinced that they're ever going to play a game in Vegas. Like, first off, John Fisher should have been forced to sell that team. If anyone was going to attempt to keep it local, that they should get preference on that. But if it's going to get moved anyway, he shouldn't be the one who gets to do that after ruining and just soaking away all the goodwill that they had in Oakland towards
that. That was really, they did Oakland dirty. They really did. But I mean, Vegas, we got a hockey team and it worked out well. Now we want everything. They'll have in the next 10 years they'll have a basketball team.
I would be surprised at all.
You
could see one of these like lesser performing NBA teams moving there. Like, honestly, there was talk that the Sacramento Kings might move out of Sacto at one point. I could see them ending up in Vegas potentially. Like, I would expect that there will be. You're absolutely right on that. My thing about that though is if Vegas is going to get a team, and arguably they should, they've proved they can sustain at least one, although it's not in the hottest part of the year. Like, you're not going to be able to build. Like, you're going to have to be basically
inside.
Indoor.
Oh yeah.
But if you're really looking at it like from the standpoint of Vegas should have a team, that shouldn't be the owner. Like, it's not going to do well, I don't think. Right. Like, I don't. Yeah, they should have a team, but they should have a team that's run by someone that's going to actually invest in it, put money into it, actually run it with the attempt to be successful. Yes. And that's not John Fisher. He's proven that over the years with Oakland. I mean, I get that it's pretty much the major league thing where you're trying to tank the team so you can move them out of town. But who's to say he's going to be any better of an owner in Vegas than he was in Oakland? I don't buy that for a second.
No.
No.
Well, yeah, he would have a lot of competition for that entertainment dollar because we talked about it. Vegas is not getting the tourists that they used to, and now you have to.
The millennials are killing Vegas.
You millennials. It's every time you millennials. But I mean, you've already got competition with the Raiders. At certain points of the year, the Golden Knights, and then you also have to compare. You have to compete with Blue Man Group, stuff like that.
True. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to keep in mind there, certainly. But that being said, I think it can work. But it's got to be. It can't just be, well, we're here, so give us money. It's got to be you have to put in a good faith effort to field a competitive team and put a product out on the field that people want to watch. And there's way too many owners in this league that are not willing to do that. The Bob Castellinis, the Bob Nuttings, the Carl Pollards. Well, I guess his kids now who run the team in Minnesota. Like, there's a lot of owners, the Dolans in Cleveland, who, like, even when Cleveland's doing well, they start trying to sell at the deadline.
Yeah.
Like, it just always happens this way that there's these team owners out there that just decide that, this is a license to print money. I'm just going to get rich off the merchant ticket sales, and I'm just not going to make an attempt. And I hate that. I hate that that's what the sport has become in so many ways. Like, you don't have that. Like, in the NHL, you have a couple teams that don't try, but it's not like, like the entire half of a league is just fielding uncompetitive rosters. I mean, Columbus, sure, but not everybody else.
Yeah, Columbus has shown signs that they are actually trying. I mean, they brought in some really good players, and they've drafted some good players who went on to play
successful with other teams.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're a great farm club, let me tell you.
But I mean, they've had Nash, and they've had Johnny Gaudreau, and they've had I think Patrick Laine was drafted by the Blue Jackets. But what if you were able to expand in the Canadian market? Because certainly, I mean, Montreal, they want the Expos back. You bring in a team to Montreal and Vancouver.
I mean, maybe there's a market for it, but again, we're talking, in my mind, relocation, not expansion.
Colorado to Vancouver. And
I can be fine with that.
You're not moving Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not going anywhere.
Pittsburgh's been there since, like, literally the day they invented baseball.
Yep.
You're never moving it.
No.
But I wish there was a mechanism in place that you could, like, force out a team owner that has made it clear that they're not going to try. I mean,
Marlins.
The Marlins, yeah, honestly, yes. They should probably not be there anymore. I mean, you could really make an argument either the Marlins or the Rays, depending on the day.
Yeah.
The Rays at least field a competitive team most years. The Marlins win a World Series, blow the entire thing up. Win a World Series, blow it all up again, and never see the playoffs again until that next World Series.
And the Marlins, they had a cooperation with Montreal. If you remember, when they weren't able to play down in Florida, they played games in Montreal.
Wasn't that Tampa? I thought that was Tampa.
I think it was Marlins.
Oh, you might be right, but there's probably a market for it. I see there's definitely a market for a team like in a Nashville or a Vegas or even
Nashville. Now that's not a bad idea.
That's the one that's being talked about most right now. There's been a lot of people realigning the leagues and stuff lately because of the talk that it's going to lead to realignment and possibly the elimination of the American and National League altogether.
Oh, I hope not.
I do too. The traditionalist in me hopes that, but at the same point in time, interleague play basically ruined that long ago. And now that the rules are homogenized across both leagues, you don't have you have a DH in both now.
Yeah,
there's not really the point anymore. Except I don't like the idea of two teams in the same city playing in the same division. I'm not on board with that. It doesn't work that way in any other sport that has multiple teams in a city.
No,
and I'd like it to kind of stay that way.
Well, but does the Rangers and Islanders play in the same? No, Islanders are in the Atlantic. Oh, I digress.
I believe so.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, dude. But as far as that goes, yeah, the ones that are being talked about mostly right now are Nashville and Charlotte.
Charlotte, really? Okay.
We'll see if Charlotte and North Carolina can support a baseball team, but I'm not in favor of adding them to the ones we currently have.
Yeah.
This is where you really need to start talking about, moving in athletics there, moving a Tampa Bay Rays or a Miami Marlins there.
If college baseball
honestly move the Twins at this point.
College, that's never happening.
You realize they were one of the teams that were going to be contracted 20 years ago? When they were going to just make the Expos and Twins and just disperse those franchises entirely. Didn't
know the Twins were part of that conversation.
We were very close to that happening.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know the Twins were part of that.
Yes.
But I would say that's surprising news to me. I cleared my head of all thought.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, college baseball is not like college football or basketball where you really get to know that talent, and that's a deep talent within itself. College baseball, not so much.
I'm not sure where the college thing comes in, though. Well,
you're talking about the talent pool to be able to have that talent.
Well, that's true, but a lot of cases you bypass the college stuff altogether because most of these
travel ball and
you have 4 different levels of minor leagues that guys are coming up through.
Yep.
Some of those will start with a club at 18, much like in the in the NHL where they'll start in a juniors league, your Class A rookie ball or whatever, and move your way up. So it's a little bit different of a thing. It's not, you don't have that same farm system through college like say the NBA and the NFL do. It's more like an NHL kind of model.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't see the talent pool necessarily being good enough to fill out you basically have an entire team of Zach McKinstry's essentially before this season. If we're gonna make this a bit, I'm gonna throw the shade still. It's gonna happen.
You're leaning into it too.
No one really wants that, but I just feel like the only option here is if we're gonna try these new markets, then it's time to admit that maybe the current owners and cities that some of these failing teams are in just either aren't supporting it or you're not giving them a reason to support it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to move a White Sox team out of town, or maybe move, like I said, the Twins, or something of that sort. I feel like we're approaching a point in the sport where it's just not sustainable to keep it going like this, right?
No.
I don't know. At least I don't think it is.
A team in Nashville, it does sound exciting. Maybe give them Arizona or Colorado.
Right. Arizona seems to do well. Colorado would probably be the team to move because they're never going to succeed there. You can't. Other than the one year that they were particularly good, you're not going to be able to succeed there because playing at Coors Field, no pitcher ever wants to go there because your ERA is going to jump up by 3 full runs.
Yep.
your offensive players, like, okay, they're fine, but once they leave there, I mean, look what happened to Carlos Gonzalez once he moved out of town. I think his numbers took a severe dip when he ended up with the Blue Jays. Like, the problem is it just doesn't translate to anywhere else, and it makes it hard to attract top talent at that point. We got to hit a break. It is happy hour here on the Voice of the Thumb, WMIC 660 95.3 FM. We'll come back and put a nice, neat little bow on this thing right after this. Stick around. It is happy hour at the Voice of the Thumb, WMIC 660 95.3 FM, and an update on something we started talking about earlier in the show, only to have breaking news dropped on us mid-show. Hendon Hooker has officially been cut by your Detroit Football Lions. Raise your hands if you're shocked by this. Nobody? Yeah, that's kind of what I expected, because this was it was already playing out this way. When we talked about it earlier in the show, Dan Campbell had literally said at his press conference that maybe a change of scenery would do him good. Apparently, he has decided that that's exactly what the kid's going to get. And to say the least of it, things did not go well this preseason for Hooker. Kyle Allen basically won the backup job within the first couple weeks. I don't think there's really much of anything that could have been done in that last preseason game that would have saved him at this point. And it's one of the rare missteps, really, that we've had from a drafting standpoint during the Brad Holmes era. Because you were already you're on your way up. You're building a roster that you intend to contend for a Super Bowl, clearly. And you wasted a third-round pick ultimately on a backup when you had Jared Goff here. I don't think at the time there was really any thought that Hooker was going to eventually be the guy. I mean, I know that at the time, we thought that, okay, well, Goff's just the bridge until the real QB of the future arrives, only for Goff to completely turn it on and be the Jared Goff we've seen over the last couple seasons and kind of convince Holmes and company that, no, the future's right here. The future is currently under center for Detroit, and we're going to make sure that he sticks around here for some time to come. I don't know if necessarily if that's what happened. Like, I tend to believe that it is, that they didn't see Goff as being the guy. I mean, you got him and a first-round pick back in the Stafford trade. I don't think anyone now on either side really is complaining about that deal and the way it turned out. But now you've got Goff signed through the end of the 28 season. He's not going anywhere. And you've got a guy who has had a few chances to show what he can do over the few years that he's been here and ultimately has really disappointed by and large. Never really shown the potential that was thought to be there in the first place. And maybe Dan Campbell's right. Maybe he does have a future somewhere else. Maybe he, whether that's being a career backup, which I haven't seen much out of him that indicates that he'll end up being more than that, or whether that ends up being as a starter somewhere, which I would not expect to be the case. But either way, there was no path forward for either of those things here. He got played out of that position of backup multiple times since he's been here. Got knocked out first by Teddy Bridgewater and then by Kyle Allen ultimately. And then he clearly was never going to take over the starter's job. So the only thing there really was to do was to cut your losses and admit that, well, this is clearly not working out. But man, you'd rather have that third-round pick have been spent on something that could have been, immediate help for this team in some capacity. No sense really worrying about that now. Like, it's been done. There's nothing to be done about it. But it is notable for being one of the rare missteps in the drafting with this organization. I mean, you hit some real winners in the second and third rounds in particular, and there have been very few outright just bad draft picks. This was one of those few outright bad picks. And as such, it gets a little more attention because of that, because there's not a whole lot else that you have that has failed at that level. And certainly no one's going to hold much of that. You're not going to hold Brad Holmes particularly, responsible, yes, but you're not going to really focus in on it just because he has given you a lot of good things through the draft over the years with this team. But it's a very, very notable misstep nonetheless. And now we can move on from that and move on from the debate over whether he was ever going to be more than a third stringer on this team, and really move on from the why does this guy still have a roster spot, and focus on other more important things. Namely, can we have another edge rusher opposite Hutch? Like a real one, and not a guy who's played a combined 6 games in the last 2 years? Maybe go sign that guy that played for us last year. Maybe, finally, please. Kind of, sort of, maybe. I know, I've been beating that horse a lot around here, and quite frankly, I'm going to continue to do so until either they sign Zadarius Smith, or until, I don't know, Marcus Davenport actually manages to play multiple games for the Lions this season. One of the two. Prove me wrong one way or the other. Don't really care which at this point. On that note, we do have to get out of here. Stick around. Jesse Kelly is coming up next after ABC News covers the world at 7 o'clock. Don't forget, Tiger Baseball, a late game tonight, 10:05 first pitch, 9:40 pregame over on WTGV. And starting tomorrow, Sportsline returns on Tuesday afternoons with Eddie Fury and Mike Gallagher right here on WMIC AM and W237EQ FM Sandusky.